Course 3, Lesson 52, we are using unit multipliers to convert, especially from mixed unit to single unit answers. So, our vocab word here is unit multiplier, and this is a ratio that has equivalent measures but different units. So, examples are 12 inches to 1 foot, or 3 feet to 1 yard, 5,280 feet to 1 mile, 4 quarts to a gallon. All of those are unit multipliers because they end up equaling the numerator and denominator. So these ratios are equal because they are equivalent on numerator and denominator, meaning that it's really nice so that we can multiply it by our units to convert it into something else. So here's an example. We want to use a unit multiplier to convert this tree's height into feet. So if we have 64 inches and I want it into feet, I'm going to first, remember, put it into a fraction. So if I have 64 inches over 1, I want to get rid of the inches. And I'm going to use a unit multiplier. And I have a choice. I can use 1 foot over 12 inches or 12 inches over 1 foot. But in order to get rid of the inches, I need the inches to be on the denominator so that they can cancel. So I get 12 inches to 1 foot. So the inches can cancel out. And I end up with 64 feet over 12. So I need to divide in order to simplify. So 64 divided by 12 is 5 1/3 feet. So use those unit multipliers to convert into another unit. Another one. A double feature at a theater is 270 minutes. Convert this into hours. So we take our 270 minutes over 1 and multiply by, well, our conversion from minutes to hours is 60 minutes to 1 hour. And in order to get rid of the minutes, I'm going to put it on the denominator. So 60 minutes is the same as 1 hour. So I can multiply by it, get rid of the minutes, and I have 270 hours over 60. So 270 divided by 60, well, let's see, we get 4.5 hours. And another one. Daniel is buying refreshments for a meeting. He wonders if 4 quarts of juice is enough for 30 students. Is it enough? Well, each student, a typical portion of juice is 8 ounces. Okay. So, if I do this, there's a couple ways I can do it. I can say I have 4 quarts of juice, and I want to get that into ounces. And either you maybe know this fact or maybe you don't. And if we know that fact, then we could easily say 32 ounces over 1 quart. So my quarts go away and I end up with my 128 ounces. But maybe you don't know that fact and only know that 1 cup is 8 ounces. So I could go from 4 quarts to, well, I know there are 2 pints in 1 quart. And, well, there's 2 cups in 1 pint. So I end up getting rid of the quarts, getting rid of the pints, and I multiply 4 times 2 times 2 is 16 cups, which then I can say 16 cups times, well, 1 cup is 8 ounces, and I end up with my 128 ounces. But the question is this enough for 30 students? And if I were to divide this by a typical portion size, 8, I would see, well, 128 divided by 8, let's see, we get 16. And is 16 enough servings? No, we have 30 students. And 30 students at 8 ounces apiece is 240 ounces. So we need quite a bit more juice, actually 112 ounces more of juice. So we do not have enough. Okay, now if we have some mixed units and want it into single units, one of the ways we can do this is just by converting the part that needs to be changed into the single unit. So for example, Samantha drove 100 miles in an hour and 45 minutes. How many hours did it take for Samantha to drive 100 miles? Basically, what I want to know is, I don't want the hour and 45 minutes. I want the decimal answer for how many hours. So I don't need to convert the hours, but I do need to convert the 45 minutes. Okay, so I would say 45. Let me just erase this really quick. Let's start that over. So if I have 45 minutes over 1, I'm going to convert that by saying, well, that's 60 minutes for 1 hour. And I end up 45 divided by 60 is 0.75 hours. So if I have an hour and 45 minutes, I have 1.75 hours. Okay? Another one. Noelle ran 1 mile in 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Find her time in minutes and find her time in seconds. Well, there's a couple ways we can do this, but minutes, pretty easy to see that in minutes we have 7.5 minutes, since 30 seconds is half of a minute. But now we need to do this and turn it into seconds. Well, there's a couple ways to do it, and one is to take my 7.5 minutes over 1 and multiply it by, well, I have 60 seconds for 1 minute. So my minutes go away, and I can multiply 7.5 times 60. And when I do that, I find I have 450 seconds. Okay? But another way I could do this is just convert the 7 minutes and add 30 seconds at the end. So 7 minutes times 60 seconds over 1 minute. Well, we get 420 seconds plus the 30 seconds that we had, and we get my 450 seconds. So a couple ways that you could do it. And last example, we have this room that we want to carpet, and we know that the length is 13 feet and 6 inches. Well, I want to know how many yards that is. So first, I'm going to convert this into feet, and I know that 6 inches is actually half of a foot, or 0.5 of a foot. So I actually have 13.5 feet. And if I want to convert this to yards, I'm going to say I have 3 feet for 1 yard. And I get rid of the feet, and I do 13.5 divided by 3. Well, when I do 13.5 divided by 3, I end up with 4.5 yards. Okay? So I know that the length is 4.5 yards. Well, I hope this is helpful for your homework and for studying.